Hey guys, welcome back to the Fight Book. This is the Indian accent guy, and today we have big news from Ilia Topuria versus Islam Makhachev, John Jones versus Tom Aspinall, Alex Pereira versus Magomed and Clive, two and many official fight announcements, some big fights from boxing world as well. So without wasting any time, let's start from Magomed and Clive versus Alex Pereira 2. Magomed and Clive recently tweeted and said that he has been offered a date for his next fight and he has accepted it, and Clive promises that it will not go to the distance this time. And Alex Pereira also shares a story on his Instagram calling out Ali Abdulaziz, saying, "Let's go." Ali Abdulaziz is Clive's manager. By the way, Jan Blachowicz, who is fighting this weekend, has also his sights on Magomed and Clive rematch, but he says he has assignment this weekend in Carlos Ulberg. So first, he is focused on Ulberg. Then we have news from John Jones versus Tom Aspinall. Ariel Helwani reported that John Jones asked for at least 6 months to prepare for Tom Aspinall fight. This just confirms my theory that John Jones likes to fight in Madison Square Garden, and he is gonna probably fight Tom Aspinall in MSG in November pay-per-view card in front of Donald Trump. Then from Islam versus Topuria, that we have a news that Islam Makhachev has reportedly turned down a fight with Ilia Topuria with the reason that Ilia Topuria is too small. Islam Makhachev said that he had fought Alexander Volkanovski twice, but no one gave him credit for his wins. Instead, people says he fought lower level guys from lower division. So this time he wants to fight a true lightweight and believes that Ilia Topuria will have to earn his title shot by beating a top 5 in the lightweight division. Regarding this, Charles Oliveira accepted to take on Ilia Topuria in Topuria's lightweight debut. So let's see if this fight is made or not. Topuria is, by the way, changing his nickname from El Matador to something else when he debuts in the lightweight division. Then we have news from Robert Whittaker versus Sean Strickland. Robert Whittaker says that he is thinking about moving up to the light heavyweight division, but his next fight will be in the middleweight division and it will be probably Sean Strickland. I had already reported you that Robert Whittaker versus Sean Strickland is in works for UFC 317 for International Fight Week. So let's see if the fight gets made or not. Other than these news, UFC have announced two cards. First, UFC Abu Dhabi card for July 26th, and second, UFC is going to Atlanta on June 4th. And the first fight, which is rumored for UFC Atlanta, it is Rose Namajunas versus Miranda Maverick. Then the first fight, which is added on June 7, UFC 316 card, it is Johnny Walker versus Azamat Mirzakhanov, a key light heavyweight bout. Some other fights are also announced, but that are not that big. Two fights for UFC Vegas 106 on May 17. Paul Craig's return to the light heavyweight division versus Rodolfo Bellato, and Yun Sung Park versus Carlos Hernandez. A fight for UFC Des Moines May 3rd, where Dontale Maes will take on Thomas Peterson in a heavyweight bout. Jeremy Stephens is also returning in this event, and he has confirmed in Ariel Helwani show that his return to the UFC is just a one-fight deal, and he will probably return to bare knuckle boxing championship after this fight at UFC Des Moines. A fight which is added in April 5th UFC Vegas 105 card, it is Loma Lukbumi versus Estela Nunes. And that's all from the UFC, but we also have two big announcements from non-UFC fights. First is from Joel Romero, who is fighting in Dirty Boxing Championship this weekend. He said on Ariel Helwani show that he is fighting Gregor Mousasi on June 22nd in GFL's event. There is no one on earth who believes that GFL is gonna hold an event in reality, but previously Tony Ferguson has said that he is fighting Dylan Dennis on May 11. Now Yoel Romero said he is fighting on June 22nd in GFL. Let's see if they really hold their events or not. The second announcement is from BKFC. They just announced a new league for sanctioned hockey fights on the ice. Yes, with full hockey equipment and MMA gloves. 3 to 5 rounds of 90 seconds only and 900 square foot ice enclosure. And the first event of this new sport will happen on June 14th. Now what we have from boxing, Canelo Alvarez versus William Skull full card is announced. In the co-main event, Jaime Munguia will fight Bruno Suras again in the rematch. Feature bout will be Martin Bakole versus Effie Ajagba, IBF number 10 ranked versus number 3 ranked. The winner will be mandatory for IBF heavyweight belt, which is currently held by Daniel Dubois. Another big fight on the card will be Badu Jack's first title defense of his WBC Cruiserweight 200 pounds belt, which he had won in February 2023 against Ryan Rozicki. Two fights are announced for May 10. First is the IBF interim title fight. Current IBF champion is Vasyl Lomachenko, who is not very active. So there will be an interim title where number 2 ranked 20-1 Zaur Abdullaev will face number 4 ranked 22-0 prospect Raymond Mortala, who is also the number 1 contender by WBO, hence the future challenger against Keyshawn Davis as well. The co-main event of the card will be Emmanuel Navarrete's fourth defense of his WBO 126 pounds featherweight belt against 18-0 prospect Charlie Suarez. Another event for May 24th in Osaka, Japan will be headlined by Angelo Leo versus Tomoki Kameda. It will be Leo's first title defense of his IBF World Featherweight title versus former 118 pounds bantamweight champion Tomoki Kameda. The co-main event will be a rematch where Genjiro Shigeoka will try to take his 105 pounds belt back from Pedro Taduran. Another event also in Japan in Kaganawa on May 28th. It will be headlined by Yoshiki Takei versus Yutapong Tongdi. It will be Takei's second defense of the WBO bantamweight 118 pounds belt. The co-main event will be for the IBF super featherweight vacant belt between Masanori Rikishi versus Eduardo Nunes. And the last in this video, it is now confirmed that Gervonta Davis versus Lamont Roach Jr. 2 is taking place on June 21st in Las Vegas. You may not like this news, but it is confirmed that Gervonta Davis and Jake Paul were absolutely 100% in negotiations and likely would have fought next if Tank had beaten Lamont Roach Jr. One more news from Gervonta Davis versus Lamont Roach Jr. fight is that event did 262,000 pay-per-view buys and a 21 million gate income. Hence, it was a successful event, and that's all in this video. Do tell me, would you like to see Gervonta Davis versus Jake Paul fight, and do you really think Gervonta Davis can beat 200 pounds Jake Paul or not? After sharing your thoughts in the comment section, you can do whatever you want.